licensed contractors, folks. You need to be careful of them. They got crazy contracts. They got no license. They've never built nothing, most of them, that I know of. So be real careful of these guys. Get you a licensed contractor, okay? The other thing I want to talk about is, once again, remember, on a Mallett building, 100 square feet or more, you can get a free pellet pit, barbecue pit, or a Gator, which is comparable to a Yeti. Remember, come in and get you a minimum 900 square feet, and we'll give you one of those. That's free. Everybody likes free. The next thing is, if you call us for a bid, we're going to give you a spec sheet. We have a spec sheet on all three types of buildings we sell. We sell the Mallett building, the Quality Series building, and the Best Buy Series. The Best Buy Series being the cheapest thing. That's what most of my competitors sell. And I have a few competitors that do quality, but nobody sells a Mallett building. But if you get these sheets and they want to bid against me, get them to initial that we're bidding apples to apples. Get them to sign it, because you'll have a legal binding document. Not this silliness here that if there's a trouble, there's no commitment here. Nothing. It's nothing like a spec sheet. So be careful of that. Once again, give us a shot. We'll do that. This morning I was talking about steel versus wood, or steel post frame versus stick frame versus steel, and I talked about the why the posts, how the foundations were made. And remember, all three of these structures need a licensed contractor to put in a compacted pad. It's critical it be compacted. A pad that's not compacted and tested can give you trouble, especially in Louisiana. So anyway, let's get back talking about the differences. So we were talking about the girts and the purlins. This morning I used purlins, but the girts are on the sidewall, the purlins on top of the roof. We use all 100% 2x6s in the Quality Series and in the premium building. That's all dry kill lumber. Once again, we go back to dry kill lumber. Anyway, post frame, once again, we're anchored in the ground 3 feet. I put our truss, our purlins are 2 foot apart, whereas in steel, they're going to be 3 to 5 feet apart. The girts are going to be 3 to 5 feet apart. We're 2 feet apart. Okay, and when you get the stick frame, they're going to go vertical. They're going to be probably every 16 inches, and they sit on top of the slab. Okay, and so when you get to the post frame building, so all your girts and purlins are 2 foot apart. We use a 2x6. Most of my competitors use a 2x4 on the purlins. That's on the top. In steel, we're going to put trusses every 20 feet. In a post frame, we're going to put them every 5 feet. And in stick frame, because it's a house, they usually go 16 inch on center, or 2 foot, somewhere in that range, depending on the size of the sheetrock they're using. Most of those trusses on stick frame homes are not engineered trusses. Those are built in the field. I don't know how many of those trusses are actually engineered. So you got to be careful of that. But that's the difference in the three. Now we start comparing stick frame versus steel for commercial uses. We're going to have twice as many purlins, twice as many girts, twice as many trusses, twice as many columns. Therefore, I will have twice as many screws in my metal onto my wood versus the steel building. Okay. Typically, steel buildings come with 1 on 12 or 2 on 12, whereas it's a standard 4 on 12. We can do a 5 on 12, 6 on 12. We can do any pitch we want because we have a truss plant. But typically, steel has a 1 on 12, 2 on 12. And the problem with that is, in Louisiana, as it rains, and it hasn't been raining lately, but typically it rains all the time. On a 2 on 12 and 1 on 12, you got to put tape in between those sheets. If you don't put tape, because of the slow withdrawal of the water off the roof, it'll start leaking. And in time, you'll have problems with a 1 on 12 and 2 on 12. No, I would never build that in Louisiana. Okay. Now, when you start talking about post frame versus the red iron, when you use post frame, you can do everything in Romex, whereas in steel, you have to put everything in conduit because it's not grounding; it's steel. It'll electrify and it'll hurt you if you don't put it in conduit. In fact, it's the code has to be put in conduit. So that's a few more things that I thought I would talk about this afternoon. Last thing I want to tell you, we've just started a special today. And just to show you that what happens when you deal with a company that buys volume, and been doing it for 22 years, A+ rating with the BBB, a licensed contractor. This particular price building is a 30 by 50 by 14 with a 20 by 50 wing. All treated lumber, it's a Quality Series. I'm going to sell that building to you for $51,499. And my competitor is trying to sell the same building for $56,000. Almost a $5,000 difference. Call and get a quote from us. Compare apples to apples. We'll beat them every time. Apples to apples. Don't believe what they tell you. They don't build what I build. And that's why I've been in business 22 years, and some of these ain't been in business maybe 2 or 3 years. So give us a call. Remember, we got that special. Hey, save yourself $5,000 if you need this size building. Call us at 337-515-2154, which is my personal cell phone number, and all my customers have that number, or you can call us at the office, 337-214-0428. Thank you for listening. Please share this, and have a good weekend.